Alright, traders, let's talk NTE. NTE has been on a huge run those last couple of weeks. I believe they got a hat tip from Apple saying they're going to use their electronics, blah, 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 something like that. And so they've been non-stop. They went from 650 all the way up into the 1130s, which is a pretty impressive run. Unfortunately, I missed most of that run. Tried to trade in a little bit over here on this breakout, but whatever. What I really want to do is short it on its way back because I know that anything that's going to run up, especially when it runs up quick, is going to come down, and it's probably going to come down real quick. So yesterday I missed the big trade when this stock came down like 15%. So today I had it on my radar to see if we saw some more weakness. We had a bunch of sell volume come in. The stock was crazy overbought. It needed to come down, and usually stocks like this will come down a couple of days. Let's go over to a 30-minute chart. Let's not use a 30-minute chart. Let's use the 2-minute chart. It's a lot easier. So this is all yesterday. The yellow line starts for today. What we noticed was the morning weakness. It wasn't really doing anything. It's already broke under the morning lows. Nice big red candle. Broke under yesterday's lows. These are all signs that this stock is ready to break down. It broke down hard yesterday on a lot of volume. This thing is going to continue on. And now we just need to find a place so we can get short on this. So I'm always preference to trading around whole numbers, especially when the stock is trading so close to it, such as that $10 level. Usually because traders will like to stick stops at the whole number just because it's easier. So when stocks finally break those numbers, it'll act as resistance or support at first, but when they break it, it can really start to move because it's just going to flush out all those people who put out their stops on that line. So I set my sell order for a 9.99, right 1 penny below that 9.99 level. And as you see in the morning, it took it out. It had a little bit bounce back up, trying to come back a little bit, and then it just washed out. So I scaled out my first half right at 9.69. And remember, I like to scale out half to protect those profits. I move my stop from 1030 all the way down to that 9.99 level. That's going to protect me and make sure I make some money on this trade. So I scaled up my first half at 9.69, a little bit early, but with all those red candles, I thought it might bounce a little bit sooner than it did. It did come down a little bit more and bounced, and then it dropped even more. And I actually sold out my last half at that 9.37 level. So right around there, I missed the bottom by like 5 cents. But that's okay because the stock ended up running back up into the 970s. This was an easy trade to see. You could have found this last night on your scans. You know, you had a stock that ran up real big. It had a lot of sell volume come down. You know, look for some morning weakness. Maybe the stock starts green and then it goes red. That's a good time to get in. I used the whole number of the resistance after it already broke down below yesterday's low. So that was a confirming signal that yes, this stock is going to break down. I want to get short this. So it did. It flushed lower. I made sure to scale out when it did. That way I didn't have to ride the bounces. I got to make a little bit of money on it. You know, I made 6% off that last half of shares, which is a good takeaway. And I was happy with the trade. You know, it was a good setup. I got in. I thought at a good point. I got out. I'd get myself an A minus on this one, just because my scales and my entry was almost perfect. And again, I'm going to keep this stock on watch. Either maybe it's going to there'll be another short below the lows of that 930. Maybe we'll get a bounce and then our green to red. Or maybe we're just going to come down and tap that 20-day moving average and it's going to end up being another bounce play. So I'm going to keep this stock on watch, but it ended up making a good short. Hopefully this will help everyone and being able to see these kind of things the night before and being able to plan for them. You know, like I said, I saw this one when it was just looking like this. You know, I saw this one when it was just looking like that. It was perfect. I was like, yes, this thing could continue down. It closed close to the lows. It was on huge sell volume. It was still overbought. Let's see if we can get a continuation run. You know, and we did. And all I had to do was just find a place to enter. Now I want to make sure my entry is a nice low risk, high reward entry. I don't want to have to chase this thing down just because I think something's going to happen, because that's the perfect way to lose. So make sure you have your setups ready and make sure you have your game plan ready. And I did, and it worked out perfect. I was able to short this thing and make a good chunk of change. All right, everyone, have a good night.